The first order of business, turn your fucking ringers off. Turn your ringers off. Please.
Do it now.
Do it now. Don't do it when your phone rings. Do it now. Okay? Thank you.
We're doing it.
All right, thank you. Welcome, everybody. Introduction, Beyond Baroque, Jimmy Vega. Show your love for Jimmy Vega.
Hello. Good evening. On behalf of Beyond Baroque Literary Arts Center, I'd like to welcome you all to Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. Give it up. Give it up. My name is Jimmy Vega. I'm the Assistant Director of Beyond Baroque. Before we begin, I'd like to start by acknowledging Beyond Baroque's presence on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Tonga people. We acknowledge the wrong done to these peoples through settler colonialism, genocidal practices, and the violent disposition of their land. And as an arts organization, we are committed to uplifting Indigenous communities, their stories, and cultures. For those who don't know, Beyond Baroque is Los Angeles' oldest literary arts center, located here in Venice, California. Founded in 1968, first as an experimental literary magazine before reimagining itself and becoming the literary institution we know it as today. We are based out of the original Venice City Hall and support writers and help cultivate new writing through our extensive program of writing workshops, readings, and performances. We're currently offering a number of workshops online via Zoom, such as our free Monday night workshop, currently facilitated by Raquel Baker, and our historic Wednesday night poetry workshop, currently facilitated by James Fujinami Moore. We've got a lot of cool things for the rest of the year, folks. Most importantly, we're bringing back our Beyond Gala later in October. So please check the website for more information on that. Please continue to support Beyond Baroque. Please continue to support local writers and LA literacy. And that's it from me. I'm going to turn it over back to S.A. Griffin. Give it up.
Thank you, Jimmy Vega. So we're here tonight to celebrate this. Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. This is a special edition. Which is this, a 10th anniversary?
15th anniversary.
15th anniversary. I thought it was older than 10. Anyway, I'm not going to talk. I'll talk a little more later. But right now, the person behind this, I want you to show your love for Daniel Yaryan. Yeah.
Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. This is so you know where we're at and what we're doing. This is so you know where we're at and what we're doing. Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. This is who we are, what we do, and how we do it. This is who we are, what we do, and how we do it. Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. We tap mystic voices from the haunts from the tomb. We tap mystic voices from the haunts from the tomb. Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. Put on your boxing gloves, get ready for the show. Put on your boxing gloves, get ready for the show. Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. Thank you.
Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. Everybody, sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. Sparring with Beatnik Ghosts. Yeah. All right, we have a lot of people reading tonight, so this is the rule. 3 minutes. Don't get up here and talk for 3 minutes about what you're going to do. Don't read your fucking short stories. Get up here and do 3 minutes. We're going to try to do a round robin. That means everyone gets to go more than once. But 3 minutes, please, okay? It's an honor to be here tonight, Daniel. Thank you for allowing me to represent. And thank you all for being here. Thank you, Beyond Baroque, for allowing this to happen here. Yeah, it's a smattering of applause. Beautiful. Thank you. And the weather is a smattering of applause. So we have people from all over California here, Northern California, Los Angeles, the environments around here, and San Diego. So again, show respect to one another. Really, just show respect. 3 minutes, we'll get around, we'll hopefully get around twice. So I'm gonna, the first person I'm gonna bring up is somebody from San Francisco who really is one of the premier writers in the country today. Ladies and gentlemen, show your love for William Taylor Jr.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Essay.
You're beautiful, baby.
You're beautiful, baby. All right. I'll read the few that I have in the collection. They're new ones, and so I'm not bored of them yet. This is called Like Bukowski's Shoelace. The great loneliness of the world is some perfect eternal machine. I pace its belly as the hours fall away. This moment to moment makes me nervous. This milling about until the next terrible thing. The ceaseless trickling down of ordinary dooms, wearing us down like Bukowski's shoelace. And we're expected to hold it all together long enough to die. In rebuttal, I drink beer and watch the people walk along Polk Street beneath the August sun. And I talk and laugh as if there were still a chance for something. And I cling to it like my last ticket home. Thank you. This is called Shaking It Off. Friends, let's celebrate this moment simply because it's here and will never be so again. They're playing the Velvet Underground at Mr. Bing's in Chinatown. It's a sunny afternoon in April, and death wouldn't dare show its face around here on such a day. Sure, the dark got a hold of me early on, but I can still shake it off a bit now and then. With another stupid poem, another golden beer beneath the golden sun. Let the love and the light slip through the cracks as they will. Let me have this, as the people drink and laugh and smoke, as the old love songs play and play, like nothing could ever end. And just one more, since I'm in LA for the first time in quite a while, I'll read one more Bukowski-themed poem. Centuries More Alive. In some dirty old bookstore in downtown San Francisco, I found a copy of Hustler magazine from 1976, featuring an interview with Charles Bukowski. He was in his mid-50s, just reaching the height of his fame. In the photograph, he's got a bit of a snarl on his face, a smoldering in his eyes. He comes off somewhat nasty and full of himself, but reading it felt like a brush with the livelier times. He said some things that would have buried him now, things that would never made it to print. But there was an energy there, a moxie, some kind of ragged joy that feels absent from the present times. And I'm a bit wistful about it all. I miss the 20th century. I miss porno magazines and Charles Bukowski. And the day at hand feels beleaguered and half alive, just wanting to lie down somewhere and be done with it all. The poet is long dead, and the young girls in the glossy photographs are old, their bodies now just something else to hide. And I open a beer just like Bukowski would. I turn on the stereo and disappear into music from centuries more alive than this one. Thank you.
William Taylor Jr. from San Francisco by way of Santa Cruz. Tech note here. Do not touch Mr. Microphone. It's a directional mic. It'll hear you. Mr. Microphone gets excited if you touch him, and he might not listen to you very well. You bet he does. And we'll be back to pick you up later, good looking. Is Ava Bird here? Is Ava Bird in the house?
She had to go.
Oh, she had to go? Oh, shoot. Oh, well, then I'm going to bring up Laurel Ann Bogan. Detective Supremo, Laurel Ann Bogan!
Oh, thank you. Okie doke, sounds good to me. All right, 3 very short poems, less than a half page. Jonah at 5 months. Wiggling sprig, Let the world wind up its delight machine, you newfangled sprout, you sloppy kiss, you whirling carousel of abundant shebang. All is yes and exclamation. Who can deny you? Not the wind humming its lullabies in your ear at night, or that October sun waiting for you each morning, all butterscotch and honey. Let it spill over, ooze gold laughter and joy, sweet, sweet joy. This one's a little more serious. Ukraine 2022. The haggard man still stands, raises his fist, spits, roars back at the rutting threat, 2, 3, 4 times larger under God with justice and liberty is no small feat. The unsuspected threat, the pushover with steel core, plow us down, and again we rise, weeds, common as breath. Lastly, in the place, but not of it. Within the silence of the past, but not of memory, desire. I call out, speak to me, and wait in the silence for more silence. No echo, but palpable darkness surrounds me with webs hidden from sight. Part of this place, but not of it. The distant pinprick of transfigured light narrows through caves of my own making. There is no happiness in this. Unaware of self, let go the wounded self. Thank you all.
Laurel Ann Bogan, Detective Supremo. Nelson Gary crossing in front of me. No, that's okay. I'm just calling you out because you were walking across. Just to entertain everybody. The next person I'd like to bring up from Northern California, Morro Bay, is, I hope I pronounced this right. Oh, you okay? Laurel, you all right? You all right? Can we bring up the house lights just a little bit so people can see when they're walking? Thanks, that's good, that's good. Thank you. That's right, baby, it's a party now. Yusuf Alawi, did I pronounce that correctly? Did I pronounce that correctly? Alawi? Yusuf Alawi.
How you doing, man?
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. I had many things to share, a few more to hide. Wish this crystal sky would move for you, unknowing the self under sheets of munition, internal fear. Dropping fire now, we knew we could die, although love sings to champion. My mind repels you as does my name. These nights of clumsy stars are no longer our own. Lost chip curtains couldn't hide a skinny moon falling to the street. Mountains of roses, deep clay marriage. It was a lot uglier in real life as the sun came up all dirty with muscles, spreading a low shadow over the city. A fragile blue light stole the last of me, and we crouched, day floaters each of us, and then blood spilled out across the air when it broke. The earth shed its lizard skin from where we stood. River, you've spent too many days depressed in the basement of a cruel land under trees that just sigh. And there was a stain in that house, a justice tower so square and tall, so easy to topple. A mark in the skin that never cleared. I kept washing. Felt so cold by the burned chair. Now a crumbled mess. I'm dying, you said. Hair stuck to broken glass. Whose fault was it? I filled the pipes of that building with a wish. or guilt. Curdled blood we left, we cried. Show me again the hurt spot. And we snuck into evening, so many coffins opening around us. Once here was breadth and bushes of flowers. Now, all under concrete and filth, thank God the silver ghosts returned. A few globe lamps, dangling wire. We were damned from the start. Every bomb meant to deceive us. And God wasn't hurt by this and doesn't care anymore. And first she said, guess at the dead. See their wasted hope, their lines of human beauty sunken. Transgressors unified at the wall someone else made to keep us out, and that's Palestine. They made perception illusory. It cut my body in half, guts slid over the balcony where the ghosts wouldn't quit, and we finally died there, you and I, as the smoke plumes carried us away.
All the way from Morro Bay. I started life in Northern California. I'm a California top to bottom. I started at the top, worked my way to the bottom. Next person I'd like to bring up is James Everett Jones.
You and me, baby.
Don't touch Mr. Microphone.
Of course not. I gotta take it out to dinner first, man. Yeah, I treat my babies right. Okay, this is entitled Rivalry. 6 feet beneath Westwood, awkward as fuck. These manly men measure their worm-eaten dicks to gain her favor, to turn her glance their way. Whose turn is it? Does she sidle up to the baseball jersey or the silk PJs? The ever-present pipe or the bottomless coffee maker? Is she a day person or a party girl even now? And if she were to change her mind, how long would it take for her to look the other way? Or maybe they're simply happy as an eternal threesome. Thank you.
Okay. Lynn, are you in the house? Lynn Bronstein?
Yes.
Come on up. Let's show your love for Lynn Bronstein.
Aaliyah, come, take my hand and walk with me to the corner and up the hill. Do you see that garden with the colorful blossoms? It isn't far. Don't be afraid. We can get there if we trust that we can. We look into each other's eyes and see how different we are. Just as there are so many colors in the garden's flowers, we are two of those colors that the grown-ups say divide us. We make the climb anyway, stumbling over recently dislodged earth. Giggling at our efforts, we finish our journey, pulling at each other's arms until we reach the gate. You bow to your angels, and I say the holy words. We breathe in air with a scent like honey and wish that we could bottle it and take it back to our friends so they'd know on this day we made Aaliyah. Thank you.
And now, leaping north again, I hope again I pronounced this properly, Kathian Cusimano. Kathian Cusimano.
Thank you, Daniel, for putting this together. This is called A Piece of Toast and the End of the World. The end of the world begins with a piece of toast, winged eyeliner, breakfast as usual, star-searching comet streak, heralding angel, falling on white noise ears, a piece of wheat toast spread with jam. The end of the year begins with dry, 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 bam! Rain, 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 float into new drag, gray cloud, Linus blanket over countdown of remaining days. The end of sanity begins with broken hearts full of diamond dust, joy relics strewn on particle board floors, fragments of the heart, scraps of the mind, blender set to pulverize, meal replacement thoughts with shrieking silence and epidemic sound. The end of anything begins with ordinary, least expected, can't force it, dust on a windowsill, a light switch flicked to lions in the room. 1 minute, a piece of toast. The next, the end of the world. And I'll just do this other one here for those of us who don't have degrees. Bio. Here's to the poets. Here's to the sit in the fields and stare at trees, touched by bugs and butterflies, noticing stripes in rocks, deer droppings, fish feeding in shallow ponds, daydreaming with the sky. Poets. Here's to the airport watchers and the flower noticers. Here's to the cat identifiers and goldfish friends. Here's to the movie viewers and song listeners and the one at the poetry readings listening to the soul language. Here's to the wind breathers and eagle soarers. Here's to the subway watchers and midday traffic walkers. Here's to the solitary lunchtime sandwich eaters, reading one world and glancing at another. Here's to the organic, homegrown lovers of the art, to the seers and interpreters, knowing no other way than to behold and proclaim this living spectrum from blinding light to agonizing darkness. Here's my bio. Let me introduce Kathy Ann. She reads, she writes, she poets.
It's the ghost of Christmas skinny future. Oh, I've been a bad boy. All right. And we're going to drop south now and bring up Jimmy Jazz.
I look like me.
I saw him at Lollapalooza like 1994. That's the last time I saw him. Yeah.
Hey, George, Amanda from San Diego. Chris Vanoy, it's his birthday over here. Came up from San Diego. Right on. I'm Jimmy Jazz. Thanks, Daniel. This one is in the book on page 79. It's called Helper. A man in a wheelchair hailed one of my students. Can you hold this cup for me, son? It was a waxy paper cup from 7-Eleven. He did. My student felt the warmth, looking at it curiously, not knowing the word urine, thinking in images, groping for languages. The amygdala switches the senses on. Suddenly, you see a bottle at the curb. You notice the trash strewn around, all around. Spilled food, flies, soiled rags. A siren, ambulance, echoes down the block. The acrid smell comes on like 2 shots of tequila. The dry, wet smell pushes into his nose as it crawls up into his mind. Mud bricks itself in like your first kiss, your first corpse, your first failure. He saw the man's feet swollen, a chiaroscuro, scabbed and open sores. He saw the man's pants gathered low on the sidewalk. He saw the black hairs, the ugly dick, the dribbled wet spot. Can you help me pull up my pants? He did. My student pulled this man's pants up around his hips. That was very kind of you, I said. You should always help if you can, but next time, be more careful. He could have had a needle in his pocket. You could have gotten poked. I saw in his face that there wouldn't be a next time, that even the most charitable among us have limits. I saw a naivete dissolve, a butterfly snatched by a mockingbird mid-flight. This wouldn't happen in my country, he said. We take care of people. We have hospitals. Most people here, I said, say people should take care of themselves.
Jimmy Jazz. And next, the love machine known as Kenan B. Rains.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Where is Daniel? Let's hear for Daniel. The last time I was here for Beat Not Beat, I didn't know they were filming, so I moved around and I got this much of myself on the video. Are they filming?
God forbid.
It's terrible. Can we move around or should we stay right here? Are they filming?
You might not be on camera.
Okay, then I'll stay right here. I never know if they're filming. I guess we should always act like they're filming. All right, I'm going to do an old piece from the 80s when I was going on between the drag queens and the punk rock bands at the Pyramid Club. It's called Contestant Number 1. She played the game, ignored her brain, in the ultimate game of cocking. She was the perfect polished plastic kit, programmed wit, Miss America, Barbie doll breeded cockpit. Her deepest motives, ego ideals, professional skills, all rooted underneath looming shade tree sexuality. Where was her identity? Exalting her anatomy? With her own hands, there was confusion concerning the goal. Something about being queen whole? And this is in your piece. This is in your piece. Thank you, Lee Beck, for taking me to the Women's Rights Choice rally last year, and it inspired me to write this piece. We may be too old for this to be a nightmare for us, but it is still for the young people, so stand up and speak out to save people from the nightmare. And this is called, I'm not going to tell you, you'll figure it out. My body, my choice, my right. My body, my choice, my life. Too many people on planet Earth. We won't survive compulsive birth. Too many people non-stop consume, inviting climate crisis and our doom. My body, my choice, my right. My body, my choice, my life. My body, my choice, my right. I said it's my body, my choice, my life. Right to lifers insist on the right of every embryo to have life. But once that little baby arrives, won't spend a dime to help it thrive. My body, my choice, my right. My body, my choice, my life. My body, my choice, my right. I said it's my body, my choice, my life. Whether rape, incest, or poverty, have the baby, says the GOP. Don't bring a child into misery to grow up dysfunctionally. My body, my choice, my right. My body, my choice, my life. My body, my choice, my right. I said it's my body, my choice, my life. Who do they think they are to say? Whose life is it anyway? Are we living in the land of the free? If we are, it's up to you and me. My body, my choice, my right. My body, my choice, my life. My body, my choice, my right. I said it's my body, my choice, my life.
And now I'd like to bring up the skinny ghost of Christmas future, Mona Jean Cedar.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Beyond Baroque. Thank you, everybody. So I'm the ghost. Here's the beatnik. Sorry.
It's officially
it's like 2.5 minutes. So,
Take your time. We love you.
That'll probably be shorter than that.
Get the hook essay.
Don't keep encouraging people, Kevin. Let me run the show, Kevin.
This is my husband, Jeff Boynton. What he's doing? It's called circuit bending. I don't know if you know what it is, but you're gonna hear it. God, I can't see this. I don't have my con. Okay. Here we go. Oh, wait. I can turn my mic on. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're good.
We have that 20 seconds.
Beats, bend, while circuits swing, strange sound, cacophony, funny, silly, noise, plays poetry, sweet, tweet, twiddle-dee-dum, drum beats, welling, long, low, loose, the blues, rhythm and blues. Jazz bent, sent out into the waiting air, only to arrive unready, ears hearing. Oh, what's that music mean? Got a point? It's just going around and around and around. Circus. Circuit sound. Rhythm and blues. Rhythm and blues. Choose. Sad, soulful, muse, melancholy, melodies, or hip-hop, bebop, upbeat, sassy, slick tunes to tap your feet. Snap your fingers. Bob the head. Oh yeah. It's there. In between the notes and the silence. Cacophony! Delusional! Deafness! Delusional! Swinging on and grabbing you, stringing you along. Into the moment. Marching. Meandering. Or halting. For effect. Only to tumble on again. Forward, like time and tide, grabbing you, gathering you, and taking you. Where? Who cares? Does it really matter? Because it's here. You're here. We're all here. Hearing. And it'll never happen again. Not like now. Because we're hearing this crazy song all along, together in time, in this magical, musical moment. Enjoying this joyful noise. Thank you, everybody. Woo-hoo! That's poetry.
Jeff. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what a beatnik looks like. This is a beatnik. Jeff.
I was there, man.
Yeah, I was there, baby. I'm still there. Now, this is the performance section for real because I think I have something on here, yeah. If you got anything that'll produce light, a match, a lighter, something like this, go ahead and get it going because we're going to bring Chris Van Noy up and sing happy birthday to him, and this is his birthday cake. So light it up if you got it. Chris, come on up. Hold on, everybody, or you get a chance. You got lighters, whatever you got. Look at that, Chris.
Yeah.
Isn't that a beautiful birthday cake?
That's a nice cake.
A beatnik birthday cake, right? All right. And look, he's on camera. All right, ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Chris. Happy birthday to you.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, Chris. Chris Van Noy from San Diego.
Now the problem is that I'm not the only one that has a birthday today.
Well, we'll get to that later.
All right, we'll get to that later. All right, poem in the book goes, his elbows would have rested just so, spread wide across the wood bar rail, polished with the sweat of hard-worked men with tired eyes. I see him drained, sheltering from the baking sun and from the humidity that seals his shirt to his skin, raising his head each time the door creaks, wondering if the blood that he coughed up this morning would be his last, or if another wasted day would follow this downward spiral, numbed as the liquid cool drains through him. Then just before the dark of sleep takes him in its kindness, he would remember another road that began with Ginsberg and Burroughs and ended with Neil, dead on the tracks in Mexico. It's called Last Call for Kerouac.
Jeff, are we getting feedback off your equipment? I'm hearing a buzz over here. It's about to explode, ladies and gentlemen. It's the end of the world as we know it. And we have one other birthday. We'll bring him up next. Get your lighters out again. Once more, unto the breach, dear friends. Cal Oakey. Come on up, Cal.
It's safe.
It's safe. It's a beatnik bomb. All right, Cal, you ready, buddy? Here you go. Here's your birthday cake. Take a look.
Wow.
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, wow.
You too never had it this good. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Cal. All right. Any other birthdays? Oh, Fred Whitlock, is he here?
He isn't here, but I know it's his birthday.
He's back east, but it's his birthday.
Okay.
Now, for my birthday, I just come back from a birthday reading for my son, who is in Brooklyn. Helped me read the day in Pasadena, and now we're here. So it's been really a great birthday for me. Okay. Mana. Mana is
Bahman, Brahmins, chanting mantras before a Madagascar dawn.
Excuse me, I forgot to put my glasses on here. I had a cataract surgery this year, so I can.
That line's not in the poem, sir.
Okay, we'll start again. Mana is
Bahman, Brahmins, chanting mantras before a Madagascar dawn.
High noon prophets of a mom and papa pot shop in Chicago.
Jogging off millions of Machiavellian manipulations on Saginaw sidewalk.
The magic of a margarita with a Mohammedan Madonna in March.
Mana is sunrise.
Mana is daytime.
Mana is sunset.
Mana is nighttime.
Mana is
spring cantatas, a rockin' Rachmaninoff, a deep bebop and Bach.
Jimi Hendrix, Joe Cocker, Santana, and Janis Joplin at Woodstock.
Maniac madness manifested at the Madison, Wisconsin stomp dance.
A Sasquatch munching Choctaw chocolate on a frozen Mackinac swamp.
Mana is spring infancy.
Mana is summer adolescence.
Mana is autumn maturity.
Mana is winter wisdom of elders.
Mana is
the Taj Mahal love of Shah Jahan for his wife, Mumtaz.
The prophetic poetry of a Pentecostal hobbit at Managua, Manana.
Applauding Amanda Delgado's Toccata at Montana Cocktail Lounge.
The colossal saxophone of Sonny Rollins melting Stockholm frost.
As far as east
is from west.
And north from
south is Mana.
Mana is
the cosmic immensity of a Ma Yuan, monochromatic ink drawing.
Dietrich Bonhoeffer, detoxification of Nazi demagoguery.
Mahayana, context with Yahweh through Alan Watts' radio talks.
The Pascal thought, we're nothing before the all, but all toward the nothing.
Mana is beyond.
Mana is within.
Mana is the beyond within. Om. Gracias.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Cal. Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
Cal Oki with an assist from Don Kingfisher Campbell. And the next person I want to bring up, one of the guiding lights here presently at Beyond Baroque, Yvonne Salinas.
Yeah, now I'm part of the Fantasma Club, the Beatnik Fantasmas. All right. This one's called Vigilia. Poetry readings are like church because poetry is prayer. And poetry reminds me of Mama Pera. I can invoke God in a poem and kill him in the same breath. Sitting here, worshiping al poeta, I listen to la palabra. I give my diezmo and support the space. Because this is a temple, and I read my books like catecismo. Through the walls and out onto the streets, spread the word, hermanes. Prediquen your truth. The detail of this moment on fire, the union of the stars, whatever heals your spirit, metaphors be with you. Poetry reminds me there is a prayer to say every night, a poem that breaks bread, that gets you on your knees because you sin, but poetry doesn't ask you to forgive. Poetry wants only what you can offer with your soul. She wants your voice and no one else's. And it's something kept between you and poetry. In the end, there's no need to come to church, but don't expect a miracle in return. Come and worship all your false idols. Come, become a disciple. Wheel up to the mic. Come and get your communion. Canta, habla en lenguas. Bless us, I beg you. Muse, I love how you pray. La santa palabra, maldita de mi alma, no me desampares, ni de día, ni de noche. Gracias. Thank you.
So we're going to take a brief second here. Look at the person next to you. Look at the person next to you. Just take a quick look. That's what a beatnik looks like. Got it? Got it? That's what a beatnik looks like, all right? Don't go sparring. The next person I want to bring up, truly one of my best friends. I always introduce him as the smartest person in the room. The director emeritus of Beyond Baroque. Show your love for Richard Modiano.
I want them to escort Lorna Bobbert out of the room. No hand jobs while I'm giving my reading, please. Yeah. I'm going to read a poem by Mark Olmsted, who's in the book. He couldn't be here tonight, so this is by Mark Olmsted. Wisdom criminals on the lamb. A rosary punched out of a skull. Dark, flaming, wrathful deities on my wall. Must be a Satan pinup, centerfolds of depravity. That's what they'll think. Ms. May likes flayed human skin and long walks in the sky. Arrest me. I confess I'm a Dada phantom vigilante, a nude Buddha protector policing the greed. Defund my concepts. Cancel my anger. Eat the heart of my own importance. Shackle me in light. Can I have a cell facing east? I dream of Tibet. Mind hero in my own non-existent movie. Autocrat rulers of thuggish reactions, I now sentenced to calm and liberation. My id got lost. I can't afford the new iPhone. Give me 3 hots and a cot and a nice big blank wall. Mark Olmsted. Poem for K.R. Morrison. Her song reverberates in the air, a tune of strength. The muscles of her fingers flex as she kneads the bread, the staff of life. Dust of polenta covers her arms tattooed with snakes. The shudder of deliberation on her tawny skin has been running since the corn has been baking in the sun. Her heartfelt wish is sent into the wind, is carried in the 10 directions in a shimmering cloud of joy. When she speaks, the desert becomes moist and turns green, with spores of grain germinating in the sun. She hears the cries of the world and sends oceans of wisdom, mercy, and love. She croons as she kneads the bread, and lizards scampered over the walls, whitewashed with opal. She sighs and tosses her jet black braided hair like a whip, with scorpions scattering before her might. When the evening's darkening sky reveals the moon in all its fullness, observed by cats, owls, and possums, when the sea gives up her dead and the spirits return to earth, she breaks the bread and then serves it to those who seek the Eucharist of reliefs. Thank you.
A perfect setup, K.R. Morrison.
Well, I hope I brought some bread.
Get those lizards ready.
This first one's called Submit. There's a dead version of me who craves you. Your calloused hand choking my neck. Spit in my mouth, you demand. the burn of a bite arousing me wet, tears and teeth tearing my moon flesh. That wounded girl is gone. I burned her alive at sea, sent her into Hecate shadows, hungry for a hawk moth rising. Kiss me with your strongest parts, without the fractured bones of your own boy wounds. Peel off these ghosts. Hold me where my secrets show. Scarlet fire graffiti branded in lady caves deep inside of me. I am a mess of avalanches. Breathe your oak tree arms into me. If you want to bite, taste all of me. Swallow my scars. My landmines are gone. Don't ask for my consent to hurt me. Okay. I wrote this after the most recent political elections. I'd like to dedicate it to Daniel and to every poet here and everybody in this book. I'm really grateful to be in it. So, I pick poets. I pick girls who slay guitars. I pick women who spit in his ego face. I pick kids who can pick your pocket, who also carry a single mother's groceries. I want the mother tired of being tired while her children visit father graves, engraving new revolutionary sons. I pick the fighter, the vagrant, the sick, the manic Joan of Arc. I pick her treason, her holy mistakes. I pick the wounded who elections later the masses praise when history suits them. I pick my brother's backyard. I choose my sister's shotgun seat, a Beretta on the floorboard by her feet. I pick men who insist on revising their masculine. I pick families who revere what's feminine. I pick men who mother, soothe, nourish their nests. I pick bare, calloused feet that walk away from this suicide we call the United States. I choose to awaken to new love, to heal generations. I pick love pure. I pick poetry whispering from outlaw sidewalks. Thank you. Is that
me? K.R. Morrison, also top to bottom California right there. She goes back and forth, braver than myself. I kind of laid it back on that a long time ago. Boy, I'll tell you, that 5 is the most horrible drive in the world. But you can always smell Kettleman City. The next person I want to bring up, I've known since before he was born. I want to bring up my son, Spencer Griffin. Okay, you going to do a poem or are you going to do a song?
Poem first, and then if I come around again.
Okay.
Mine's getting a camera out, so for.
So you want me to record?
Yes, I do. I wanted Mom and Mackenzie to see this, and whoever else would like to. My poem's on my phone.
Oh, okay.
That's why I pulled it out.
You want me to record with my phone?
Yes, but I'm reading with my own.
I understand. Hold on, give me a second.
Okay. How's my voice, by the way?
Good. Great.
Okay. All right. I got audience approval. All right. Okay. Ready? Okay, this first poem is a tribute to the recently deceased Pee Wee Herman. This is sort of a character I made up in a poem that sort of is like him. Here it is. Uncle Billy. Uncle Billy, he's so silly. His house is made of chocolate cake. Everything in his house is alive. Even the walls talk, for goodness sake. Uncle Billy, he's so silly, has a burger for a pet. He takes him for walks around the neighborhood and feeds him well so he's not upset. He wears his shoes upon his head and keeps his hat under his feet. After a dinner of ice cream sundaes, vegetables are a special treat. After a long day of doing nothing, Uncle Billy says goodnight tucks himself in bed with his feet on his pillow, opens his eyes, and turns on the light. Thank you. Do I have time for one more? Okay, I do have one more poem. And this is one suggestion that my mom had a while back, a few years ago, for all the girls who felt like princessy things were too stereotypical. This is I Don't Want to Be a Princess. I don't want to be a princess. I'm not like other girls. I don't need any makeup or bows or pretty curls. I don't want to be a princess, and I don't need a prince. For a prince will not make all my dreams come true, I'm quite convinced. Instead, I'll be a scientist. Or maybe an astronaut. I could even be a rock star. I don't see why not. And I could be an author with lots of stories to tell. Or I could be a doctor helping sick people get well. I could be a teacher who gives useful information. One day I could be president, in charge of all the nation. All these things and more would be so wonderful to do, and I don't need any crowns or frills or dresses. Yes, it's true. So don't tell me that every girl wants to be a princess, because it's such a boring, needy lifestyle, that I must confess. I don't care if my story ends with a happily ever after. I'd much rather have a life with excitement, fun, and laughter. I don't want to be a princess. I am no precious little lamb. All I want is to be loved just the way I am. Thank you.
My son, Spencer Griffin. We were actually reading to him in the womb, and I think it worked. The next person I want to bring back up is Don Kingfisher Campbell.
Oh, yes. Please turn to page 51 in your sparring guides. There it is. This poem's called Dream Rooms. Darkness arrives, we take off our eyes, lock mouths, wrap limbs, become two puzzle pieces on the bed. Hamsters in the box with a cutout window, holding close, impressing love on each other's bodies. I hug my decades-long duende. She strokes the hair of her incubus, wishing 9 lives. Trucks pass, phantoms down the street. We might as well be on a coupon vacation at a Dana Point Super 8. We breathe in waves under seaweed sheets, muscles undulating on Percale Beach. We toss and turn in the flotsam and jetsam of separate but equal dream worlds. Lying at this moment, other apartments do what we have done, moan exercise as people imitate sleep. If an earthquake comes, we won't watermelon mind. We'll just hold on, ready for evaluation, preferring mutual breakage. But the sun rises. Our minds return to conscious light. Twitter, conversation relay, door departure. Until we meet again in the night. The nocturnal creatures yin and yang, too familiar with being endangered.
And very sincerely, thank you everyone for keeping the show moving, because we still have a lot of people to go. And it's really going very well. It's really wonderful to have everyone here. The next person I want to bring up, I always feel like I'm standing next to the North Star of my life, Manny Suri.
Thank you, Daniel, for doing this. Thank you, SA, for moving this along. And thank you all for being here. This one is called Fear of Perfection. Fear of perfection, the bane of my existence, engendered by blank canvas, blank paper, unable to even attempt to rescue a nymph trapped inside a block of wood or marble. How can I dare to write anything if it won't stand the test of time? Homer, Ovid, Chaucer, Shakespeare at all. How can I dare to make a mark on canvas knowing it'll never be regarded as matching the genius of Michelangelo, Goya, Picasso, Titian, Bertolucci et al.? And on it goes as I sit, Rodin's Thinker, or Florence Jacqueson's Bonobo Pensif, frozen in analysis paralysis, almost moribund. I hear Nike whisper, just do it already. Thank you. This next one is called Meaning of Life. I suspect a few of you who don't have the answers might have thought about this question. I saw moss clinging to a barren rock on Palma, Mallorca, many moons ago. I didn't hear it ask why or what for. I thought of a peacock strutting in a garden. It didn't ask either. Nor does a gazelle leaping across the Serengeti. The chimp swinging from branch to branch didn't stop mid-lurch to ask either. Not even a whisper of any such query from the prey gasping for air, caught in its predator's fangs and claws. Then why do I, with the gift of human intellect and fruit basket of civilization, set aside living only to ponder questions to which there are no answers? Breathe, live, help others do the same. Create beauty, comfort, share with humanity to help it cherish life, not despair. One step, next step, two-step, dance, rejoice. The sun still rises after the storm. Cliché suivant. Next slide. Thank you.
Monty Suri. This next person I had the pleasure of sitting in a store window with, a furniture store window, reading night with a few other people, and we became the display. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your love for Lalo Kikiriki.
Hey, yeah, that were something. Silver Lake. Okay. Oh, this is beautiful. The lighting is gorgeous. Okay. It's a long poem, but not that long. The Bukowski Tour. Okay, I confess, I took the Bukowski Tour, paid $58 to bus in the steps of the master. We hit the downtown post office first. Bukowski sorted mail on the third floor, but I knew the building already from 3 days as an extra on Dear God. Jack Sheldon picked up a trumpet in one of the counters, and we both made the final cut. So I'm thinking, this stop is on the Lalo Kikiriki Tour too. We get back on the bus. Sunset to Alvarado, our guide points out some bars. Short stop, Gold Room, been there too. And we stop at the Bungalow Court in Hollywood, where we learn about Black Sparrow Press, the monthly stipend, and we all get jealous. Then upstep my poetry friend, Sina, from the 90s, who manages the apartment house next door, where the Barnstall poets met once or twice. It has a classy lobby. Sina had cats, but her rooms were immaculate, also free. 15 years later, she's still there, still managing, still beautiful. Long red hair. She wants to sell an autographed Bukowski paperback. No takers. Most of us had paid nearly our last dimes just to take the Bukowski tour. Some of us are saving for beer at the next stop. So we're back on the bus up Western to the Pink Elephant. And Baskin Robbins, still there, familiar from my daily walks with baby Charlie to Griffith Park. The tour bus parks at the curb. We all eat free donuts out of pink boxes, while everyone takes pictures, and some buy beer in honor of Bukowski. The stop could have been on the Lalo Kiki Riki tour, too, just as easily. Every day from April 1980 to September 1981, Lalo pushed the infant Charlie to Ferndale and back in a Graco stroller from Zodi's on Sunset. Not quite as exciting, but while Bukowski stewed in his jerseys on Carlton Way, the Bukowski tour, as it turns out, is too much like the story of my life, except for the notorious alcoholic haze. Oh, to be Bukowski, angry, irresponsible, careless, cool, typing relentlessly, gloriously drunk around the corner from that crazy intersection, Hollywood and Western, the crime scene taped motel where shootouts left bloodstains on the sidewalks, where pimps grabbed high-heeled whores by their hair under the giant hot dog. We were there, in the thick of it all, unknowing. Yeah, Bukowski. The tourists are back on the bus again, heading down Sunset, the route taking as long as it took the minnow to get around the bay. Those folks never got back from their 3-hour tour, but we do. Pull up in front of Philippe's, file out of the bus, maybe a turkey dip or a custard pie, before we slide back into our own drab lives. And we are all feeling a little gamier, up for the Gold Room on the way back to Silver Lake, reveling in vicarious degeneracy. Bukowski always made it look so easy. Thank you.
Lalo Kiki Riki. We really were furniture reading poetry one night. It was pretty amazing. The next person I'd like to bring up is really, you want to see what a real beatnik looks like. Among other things, he kind of can wear that handle. Ladies and gentlemen, show your love for Michael C. Ford.
Well, first thing I want to do is thank Daniel Yoren for promoting 15 years of boxing matches. And now that everybody is, yeah, of course, everybody's now sufficiently knocked out. And I'll restore everybody back to reality here. In the middle 1980s, trio named themselves Minutemen for the reason that all their initial originals were designed to last only 60 seconds. Each track, 60 seconds. Plus, there was always that American Revolution vibe. It must be pointed out that there are not many bands so inclined to invite a poet to compose lines to be transcribed and placed on the first page of their record company press kit. Well, an occasion for what I was invited to read is this release of the Minutemen twin pocket vinyl recording entitled Double Nickel on the Dime. Pause for a prayer. Okay. In the gutless world of the 21st century music, I surmised that it wouldn't happen today. However, George Hurley, Dee Boone, and Mike Watt were in a class totally by themselves. And recalling their contribution to American contemporary music, here is the opening set of lines for that Minutemen press kit. Minutemen. We'll give you just 1 minute to come out of there with your hands up, all you singer, songwriter, rhymers. We got you covered, you disco dippies, you pop music parasites. Come out fast with your platinum competition hustles. We got the goods on your gang of greed-mongering gargoyles. We're gonna watch you slide down the grease of your own evil egos and pseudo-journalistic sabotage. We showed up to save the rancher's daughter. We want to take back all that formulaic hack trash, supermarket surrealism, and sophomoric stupid sewage you sold her for $1 million. We'd like to watch you careerist, opportunist, literary politicians sink into an academic cesspool. Why don't you poet-tasting twits cancel your subscriptions to the periodical poetry snot rags you worship as Bibles in your government-funded seminars? You're under arrest, you computer-kissing, system-sucking vermin. You will all be reincarnated as wretches of the wasteland. Some of you will inhabit this polluted PhD swamp in disguise to keep from being lynched. This is your last warning. Okay, boys, let's go in and get them.
Ain't nothing like the real thing. Michael C. Ford. And now I'd like to bring up a true light in Los Angeles. Somebody who, I don't know, how many years did you run Cobalt Cafe? 20 years? Rick, how many years? 21, almost 21. Almost eligible to vote. Well, that's 18, actually. Almost eligible to do something. Anyway, Rick Lupert ran it for almost 21 years. And he really, that's a lot of work, people. Let me tell you something. That's a lot of work to show up and run something like that and never take a vacation. Ladies and gentlemen, show your love for Rick Lupert.
I took a lot of vacations. It's great to be in a room filled with an entire lifetime of poetry here, so really nice to be here. Thank you so much. This first poem of the two that I have in the book was written in July in Paris. I was there for just a couple nights at the end of a longer trip, and when I got there, I was reading a website to find some things to do in Paris. It'd been a while since I'd been there, and I wanted to make sure there were still things to do there. And it said something like, don't just take another ordinary picture of the Eiffel Tower. So this poem is called Not Ordinary. A tip in a guide says, another ordinary picture of the Eiffel Tower. Try something new. I wake up in Paris with that ordinary beauty staring at me through this French window. The way she pierces the sky and stands assuming above everything else created in this land of cheese and beautiful streets. We will wander all of them today. Our only day here, like it's an infusion we've needed for years to tide us over until the next time we are lucky enough to, why not, our way across the sea to this place. Monet, we're coming for you today. Seine, we will touch lips on your bridges. Notre Dame, our much needed checkup after your disaster is on the schedule. All of it in our eyes in one day. There are no ordinary pictures of the Eiffel Tower.
Yay.
I still have Kennan's song in my head, and I really believe that you should be able to choose to have an abortion until your kid is 25. My bank account, my choice. Daniel, I don't know where you are. I can never see in this room, but I assume you're here. Thank you for all of these years and for this. I mean, no one's buying solid gold houses with poetry money, you know. So this beautiful thing is a labor of love. So thank you for all these years of love. This final piece I wrote after a particularly terrible day in the news. It's for America. It's called A Day in the Life. Here in the greatest country in the world, kids in Wisconsin are told to not sing about kindness. Meanwhile, in Nashville, a gun kills children at another school. This is just one day in America.
And Rick, is the Poetry Superhighway still available for travel? It is. How many years has that been up now? I don't know. A lot, yeah, longer than the coal boat. I mean, the Poetry Superhighway was one of the original Audubons on the internet. It's been up since the 90s, hasn't it? Sure. Yeah, been up for a damn long time. Thank you, Rick. The next person I'd like to bring up is Jean Marie Spacuzza.
Oh my God, it's so good to be here. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Essie. Thank you, everybody. I'm like really emotional about what's going on here because it's been a while since I was here, and I'm going to stop talking now and just go. I don't remember writing this, but I remember how it felt. Does anybody understand what I mean by that? I don't remember writing this, but I remember how it felt. The air between. There was a dream once. I leaned in to kiss you and stopped at the air between. I sensed a breath bereft of weeping that caused me to pause. The thought that before was just as important as its momentary elimination, a precious prelude to an untamed taste, precisely as vital as it feels. I sought to remember my lips then to a much greater appreciation. The acquaintance with yours would make forever changed the consorting molecules transformed. And though the two of us, and through the two of us, I will miss the innocence of unquenched memory, yet welcome with anticipation the movements embedded in our vast, expansive communion. I cannot make perfect this mission, but will commit waking to its presence and execution. Thank you. I climbed because I wished to fly. I left my safe but rocky place and lifted myself high. But when I looked, I saw above, and so I left to climb. I climbed because I wished to fly. I started out to find you, but only saw myself. And so I left my arms and legs and lifted myself high. I saw above and so much more, and so I left to climb. I climbed because I wished to fly. Over rocks, my senses leaving my crawling, striving mind. I glimpsed you far ahead of me, leaping over trees. I glanced above and saw much more, and so I left to climb. I climbed because I wished to fly. You gave me gifts of little wings and crowns of silver sky, then dropped me down to teach me why and see you from inside. I looked within and saw much more of darkness, and I was left to dive. But if I fall, will I then fall to you or to my death? Will I stand and stare here long? I cannot, cold and dying. I love you more than certainty and see you from inside. And so I wait to make my leap, to fall from empty highs. I cannot know what I will find, but trust and love my life with you. I'll fall because I wish to fly. Thank you.
Jean Marie Spacuzza, that's Flight. And what Rick said is absolutely true. Those of us that stick this out, whether you're a poet, a publisher, editor, whatever you're doing in this game, it's always, and I know it sounds precious as hell, but it's an act of love. And it really is. And I'll tell you, Daniel really does love everybody very much because I've seen him close up, and he really does throw his love into this full force. So the next person I want to bring up is, let me see here, I had it marked off. Oh, well, we'll go down this way because I just want to say this cat's name. If this isn't a beatnik, I don't know what is. Dig Wayne.
Thank you. I have this warmth inside of me. I'm not sure if it's the whiskey or just I'm just so glad to be here, but I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much to be included in this. It's very exciting. Zero Gravity, Wayne Shorter, Prime, you got to watch that shit. Dig Wayne, that's my name. Sound Cluster. Drop your leaded forearms, indweller of symphony. Leave yourself susceptible to a divine influence. The stagnant debris flow is crucifying horns and flowers. Put a window in the strings so the octaves can escape if need be. Let the hungry bassoons fend for themselves for once. Dip the French horns in fondue while they're still warm. Inform the bullied piccolos the coast is clear. The timpani mallets have been reported. Ridicule aimed at the triangle will be dealt with silently. Calling the maestro dude will no longer be tolerated after 6 p.m. Embracing this morass of illegal harmonics is the next big existential fugazi. Gird your lonely cello loins, gather your 44-piece parure of sound trinkets, let them walk through walls of enlightenment, improvise new lines that become cosmic truths that bring us closer to expansion beyond knowledge, to a sound we've only tasted, seen, felt, smelled, smelled, but never heard, or we may not return to the air under our souls, scary souls, bleeding as we yearn to fly comfortable with mystery, searching for the grace wave of I dare you. Thank you. Mascots and prodigies. I'll let the wind in the trees scoop me up, scrape the sadness and disappointment off of my happy trails, breathe in the victories as time gives focus a soft seat. Living is a full-time job unless the circus runs away with your visions of wax mountains and Pearl Bailey deep registers. Come back home where the middle is good for calm energies. Pick cherries with your toes, sharpen knives with your silence. Thanks.
Dig Wayne, Dig Wayne. Everybody on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, Dig Wayne. That's fucking beat. All right, the next person I'm going to bring up is Jonathan Harris. Jonathan here? Is Jonathan still lost in space? Thank you, you got the reference. Thank you very much. Oh. That's my imitation of Jonathan Harris. Anyway, so the next person I will bring up is not Jonathan Harris. Elise, I got Elise. No, Elise Hart. Elise Hart.
All the patron saints of poetry are here tonight. I'm very honored to be reading alongside you. Northward Regression. Leaving now for the black cottonwood, Sitka spruce, speckling a city so green. Take your executorship and POAs and health directives. Give them to the other daughter, the one that doesn't exist. Can you float alone? I'd like to rub a rubber sole into soil so clean. Let me go where everyone is heading into another decade of life, sparkling and rosy, and I'm a passenger and time is not round. I'd like to see a tree that's not a palm. Can I float alone? My eyes are shriveling. We are in a desert that ends at the sea. This is where my calcium blows. Every memory will settle in a mussel shell that lives there on the pier pilings. Caught in a palm. A smirk is the distance from when I last fell and rolled in grass, and when I wanted to be cupped but ripped seam to seam like I'd been cut from felt and stitched with a leather lace. Inside me, the cries of strangers who had ceased to be strangers, but not their strangeness, had wanted to be mothers or fathers or actors or reapers, slipping their token of emptiness through a hole where I was without selvage or sword or words to say, keep away, to yourself, be gone. Let me float on my isle of pins, my tuft of unwoven threads caught in a palm. And I don't know if you've heard of the Muffin Man, but this is Have You Met the Whittling Man? Has nothing to do with it at all. Have you met the Whittling Man? He sits on Venice Way, stationed on a folding chair with metal legs, as if he were always there. And with his tools he works the wood. I stop to see this log split into almost two, a parabola of negative space describing separation between what will become, he says, two dancers without legs or arms, twins of a steadfast birth. But really, he says, the wood determines what it becomes, and goes on about the grain and its dictation. He creates with what he has to make his piece. He is limited by the area amid two branches he has shaped, whittling away that middle part. He can only use what tools fit within. We make use of what we're given, he says. I nod my head, imagining limbless dancers in their motion, peeking their heads into this world they're carved, though they never asked to dance or be, their gestation unfolding on the street. If the man finishes before he's moved on, he's willed into birth these stationary movers with his cutting spoon along the straight grain of the wood. The movement is something people talk about with art that sits on wall or floor. It's not going anywhere, just as this whittling man always parks his boots and chair on Venice Way. Does anyone else pass and ask, what will you make and why?
Do you know the Muffin Man? Isn't that how it goes? All right. Oh, I love all this response. Thank you, thank you. George Drury Lane. The next person I'd like to bring up is also from Northern California. To join the rest from Northern California, from Vallejo. I once sang in Petars in high school when Joanne Neville was running the piano bar there. That's a long time ago. D.L. Lang.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Daniel. It's an honor to be inside this beautiful book. Romancing the Hobo. If only love could pay the bills, we'd be as rich as they come. If only we could get by on thrills, we'd hop the next train to freedom. This world runs on greed and war, like we all forgot what love is for. We must believe it will work out. When love is involved, there is no doubt. If only love could heal our hearts, no two friends would ever part. If only love became our compass, just imagine what we'd accomplish. Imagine what the world could be if people were allowed to love freely. We can see beyond our differences. We all build upon our acts of kindness. If only love could furnish a home, not a soul would remain alone. If only love could ignite our dreams, happiness would be closer than it seems. We spin the world a new direction with every single act of affection. It's just the human condition to desire a true connection. If only love could pay for meals, we'd never starve for company. If only love our hearts could heal, the truths we would finally see. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And now show your love for the beatmaster, Gary Justice.
Thank you, Daniel, for bringing this miracle here. Appreciate you there. Random texting while drunk in Hollywood, responding to poets on Facebook. I relate your message, deeply sipping tequila, smoggy night, Hollywood after midnight, Latin beats, dirty streets, so sweet, much love from above. All I got's now is this here, a drunk text that the rest be best, and how we create like a sound scribed into the nevermore, into the infinity, straight up a friend to the end. Thank you. I'm not an academic. I don't know Dada. I like wordplay. This is not Dada. Thus misspoke my Zarathustra, mistreatise, alphabetic soup, dynamic pantomime, Shakespeare on a stick, trick my treat, double speak, drip drop, hip hop, syllababble, scrabble, scriptic riddles, nonsense sequitur, whiskey and rhyme, just for the rum of it, assault and lime, verbs and spice, paradigm, paradise. Yeah. Thank you.
This is all Dada. None of this is Dada. Dada is shit. And it doesn't exist. That's what I just said. The next person is one of the greatest living poets in America, and the person I would like to be when I grow up someday, if it's ever possible, Brendan Constantine. Thank you.
Keep the show moving.
I'm telling you. I could have made all the difference. Thank you. It's an honor to be among you. I got to sit at the cool kids table. Just 2 short ones, and I even marked the page with a card that says "Stop talking." This is X marks the X. You want to cross your arms, and by you, I mean you reading this, you with your good arm and your ashamed arm. You who haven't had enough water today and haven't read the book you've been meaning to. You who crossed your arms as a child and wondered, is it going to stay like this? You want to do it again. This isn't mysterious, not a murder mystery, except to the extent that the world is. And if you regard the world as alive, if you believe the sky is watching and the ground is bearing, then the murder rate for everyone is 100%. But right now, we're talking about you. You who's so goddamn lucky because the killers are distracted and haven't noticed either of us. Chances are they'll get me first, so I can say the word you again, and you can draw this page a little closer to your face, your elbows almost touching. And this is even shorter. This is called Jokes About Angels. An angel walks into a hospital and says, "I need to see a doctor." The nurse asks, "What's the matter?" And the angel says, "Nothing. I've just never seen one." How many angels does it take to change the subject? It's midnight and a hospital is burning. A sperm of helicopters swim above it, aiming big cones of light so the firemen can tell the building from the night. Most of the patients have fled, but many are missing and presumed transcendent. A woman in a wheelchair pulls her robe together. Two doctors share a cigarette nearby. One says something in Ukrainian. The other nods in Ukrainian. Soft music starts playing from a coat pocket. No one stops watching the flames. An angel walks into a bar and orders the usual. Everything happens. Thank you.
Brendan Constantine. The next person I want to bring up is also a great poetry warrior and a real light in our community. She's been doing the Friday night. Elena, how long have you been doing the Friday night thing? 12 years. 12 years. That's really dedication and love. Ladies and gentlemen, show your love for Elena Sakata.
Thank you all so much. I just came here from sunrise at the Grand Canyon. Pretty awesome. But anyway, I'm just going to thank you. It's really an honor to be in the book amongst you. I grew up in communist Romania, and rock and roll was banned. So you could only listen to the Beatles if somebody had smuggled in a record, an LP, as we call them now. So it's called It Is Always Evening. She's a scene I could read on my mother's impatient face on the other side of customs as I wait for my American passport to be stamped. 1984, Bucharest airport feels like Alcatraz prison after living as free as a monarch butterfly in London and Los Angeles. I can tell the custom officers, the secret police, they all are. Short military-style hair, intimidating stare, eyeing me to see if I crack. I'm not about to let any doubt cross my face. I smile. The entry stamp is placed. I go through the barren doorway to baggage claim. Did they open my suitcase? Did they ransack through my belongings like the last time when the combination lock was pried open? It is always evening. Miraculously, my suitcase is intact. Mother and Aunt Stella, stretched necks, waiting. There she is. Tears of joy ran down our cheeks. Finally, we are in a taxi. Silent, not a peep. It is widely known that most taxi drivers are securitate, secret police informers. We step out into the darkness of austerity to pay the country's debt, not a street light in sight, only the occasional car zooming by. My suitcase is not only heavy, but awkward like a blushing nun. Darling, my mother starts, I dream of you arriving like the Queen of England, carrying only a handbag. My mother is so right. That would be my dream too, but how can one arrive from the West without gifts for relatives behind the Iron Curtain? Aunt Stella finds a pole, threads it through the handle. We carry the gigantic suitcase, stepping in and out of puddles. It is always evening when I visit folks in communist Romania. Eerie darkness, dogs bark all around. Soon we will be home, home which is no longer my home. Thank you.
Goodbye. The next person I wanted to bring up is somebody I've known. Go back to the Water Gallery, and there's a few people in the house tonight at the Water Gallery. It's the first place I ever uttered poetry that wasn't in a high school or college or something. It was the Water Espresso Gallery, Santa Monica Hudson, dozen long gone. Anyway, show your love for Jerry the Priest. Jerry, you here? He was here. Jerry can't be here tonight, so I'll accept the award. So Jerry, when he gets here, tell him he's not up yet because he missed his cue. Is he coming? No, he's not coming. He's shaking hands with the former president. Shake well, Jerry. Don't ever let that, I'll just stop right there. So the other person I met at the Water Gallery is my brother in poetic crime. We've traveled all over the U.S. and Canada together and all over the world on the internet. Show your love for Mike M. Millette.
Okay. I haven't seen the book yet. Where the hell is it?
Here it is, Mike.
Oh, look at this. Oh my God. Oh, what a labor of love. What an awesome experience, just to get the vibe of poets and poetry and different takes on life and love and shit. Shit. Oh man. Okay, this is a longish one. Oh, God.
3 minutes.
Yeah, okay, 3 minutes. Oh, yeah, Tell that to Daniel. Dancing our lives away for all the poets and friends forever before us, forever after. Who is this at the doors of knockabout history with fiery language burning translations? It's us and our visionary ancestors, friends, mentors, fallen angel gurus, shooting a new kind of apple with new music tweets and shit into our system's dialogue. The mind's eye alley corner with heads energizing in some wild cooking groove. Listen, the airs are full of infobites, shortcut texting, new genres of canned cool memes, and singing gifts popping up. What a world! Posting oozy, sandwich-like confetti conversations. Shit. We all do it, okay? This way or that, more or less, like. What an adventure in quilting. Within the itching open stage of isness, where we live in the swirling bit of the creation myth. Each time, there's cacophony with a crowd chorus of us, and this is cool. Sort of symphonic, resonant, and noise rambling. We may like this or not. Thank you, happy face. Yea, though I walk through the valley of life, performance, art today. Maybe we can figure this out together as we're in some transition. Grab a 6-pack of whatever suits you, LOL. There's no intermission in this dance. Sniff and sip the scrumptious scene. The landforms, too, will read all about it. uploading contemporary JPEGs of soul with tooth-cracking outbursts of rage from the window's fingertips. There's a long history here in the making. I am actually not just a little bit crazy in this flow. With each breaking news bundle meme, you name it, you fill it in. More trouble for the juicy mind. It can be so delicious. In this mosh pit, as I reach beyond fucking 70 on this planet thing called Earth, state of being, who's next for the trophy? Step right up. We've got Mr. Megalomania, the hairdo once head of state, a madman cornucopia of delusion born to sneer. Fat flash tweeting messages of hate? Yes, sirree. Dignitaries and common me's are included in his rants. It's not at all that hilarious anymore. This joy-sucking gut-like wall of stupid must be petro-nonsense. It doesn't get any better on this planet for the rotten side of the ill-picked fruit. Shut the fuck up. Billions of us species are at risk in this gray-lit sky. No lie. This is the sad bag truth. You know, believe me, trust me, like me. No mask, some encryption can protect any of us anymore in the rubble of thinking. Near the flames and floods of apocalypse, we teeter and totter with fractured faces assuming balance. What a pallid, empty bubble. Clouds circling and squaring with mouths made up mantras. All of us are in the sway, or else. Stop. Take this quiz now. How do you spell environment? When love seems to be losing all nourishing value? Take a right, take a cell phone breather. Take a nap. Stop. Amazon. Shop Amazon. Google. Wall Street. Porn. Sell the real truth. Buy crypto. We've got the drugs, sex, booze, guns. We've got the lobbyists. We've got the senators. We've got the lies, the demagogues, the fake holy. Who needs a ticket? Red state, blue state, when we have the couch of pervasive oblivion. Oh man, woman, step away, jump. This thing, life, is sacred celebration. Listen up. Without worry, I muse to myself and to those with edible ears like you and eyes clear and winking. Read the lips bleeding green and softly touch your neighbor insensitive spots. In the wondrous osmotic tintinnabulation of heart, we do share, where we can dream easy, wild, and bright, and drown, and dance, and sing in this crazy, incomprehensible, yes, sing and dance, chant and stretch, vibrate and rave our lives away. We do live on.
Let me have my book back.
It's your book. I love that book.
The next person, I traveled down a beat not beat path, more or less well traveled. Therefore, it has made all the difference. And it's kind of cool when you get to know somebody besides just when you see them in public at a poetry reading. And I got to really know him really well. Our love for Rich Ferguson.
Master Blaster of Ceremonies, S.A. Griffin. Thank you, Daniel. The sirens have been screaming lies about us, those emergencies proclaiming we're their bastard next of kin. Children of oblivion and broken glass, worried wanderers roaming pitiless cities of demolished optimism, our cold bones clattering like a failed fortune teller's shuffled deck of cards. Paralyzed predictions, doom-age daydreams, wounds unwound into paths where we're crossed and double-crossed by black cats engaged in hex trafficking. The sirens have been screaming lies about us, claiming we've got bullet holes for eyes, that our minds' white spaces filled with suicide notes scribbled in misery's ink, that every moment is spent taping up the busted windows of our shattered souls, that our names have adopted all the aliases of pain, that we're ravenous and raving as a lunatic's tied-off vein, craving that syringe of serenity that'll never come. Sirens wail a ballad shambles. Sirens make the word flower sound like murder. Sirens unsheathe their knives, slash the night with death cries. The sirens have been screaming lies about us, those pimps and pariahs, monotone messiahs decked out in sallow skin promises of raptureless tomorrows, whose remaining graces cross-dressed as annihilating angels, feeding on our scraps of good intentions. Those mind traps kill cults and outlaw death trips. Those sirens claim we got the keys to the extinction machine, that we've landed a major role in Dante's Inferno, that we're haters, hedonists, and heart arsonists who stuff down angers or dry weeds in fire season, begging for a match. Sirens wail a ballad shambles. Sirens make the word flower sound like murder. Sirens unsheathe their knives, slash the night with death cries. Sirens have been screaming lies about us, saying those burlap bags in our chests packed with rabid dogs, claiming the raw meat of gutter-speaking blood clot lullabies, dogs howling, growling, foaming at the mouth, temperaments built from lost bets and the short end of broken wishbones. Sirens claiming our inner weather is thunderstorms followed by swarms of torment, that we are incurable cretins tearing down Xanax Edens, that Greece got us on speed dial, that our fantasies got a date with the corner down on the street corner. Sirens wail a ballad shambles. Sirens make the word flower sound like murder. Sirens unsheathe their knives, slash the night with death cries. Some nights those sirens are so loud, only tombstones can sleep through it all.
Rich Ferguson. And I'd like to bring up someone else from Northern California, someone that I've known for a long time as well, Michael Lane Heath.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Essay. Thank you, Milo Martin, for being such a gracious host here in the Southland. And most importantly, this is not a poem by Magritte or A Day Ignored. In the rush hour downtown, I wait for a bus and look around, seeing melting onyx instead of streets, strawberries instead of faces, and faces instead of bank accounts. A Day Ignored, perhaps, by Monsieur René. Busy with boulevardiers, shrubs, shaving kids' skyscapes. A Day Ignored, perhaps, by Robert Frank. Occupied with midnight jukeboxes, airborne couplings, and mixed exile Goodfoot. But then again, I have my share of days ignored, where the decision between chainsaws or jazz, the decision between coffee or Guinness has made all the difference. Thank you. And this is one for all the lovers. I have a feeling there might be one or two here tonight. It's called Gratitude for Richard. Being a civilized Western creature, I am eternally grateful for the mouthwash I rinse after cigarettes around these midnight Being a civilized Western creature, I am eternally grateful. For the mouthwash I rinse after cigarettes around these midlife gums before we kiss. Grateful for that and more kisses and what sometimes comes after. Grateful for the love we share, the prayer within ourselves to confound the status quo unknown, still flickers and flares between our flares and flames between our bodies and names, still holding a shared truth, though long past young, the youth, believing in our lives and passion shared, still flickers, still dares. Thank you.
And now I'd like to bring up Ordell Cordova. Ordell Cordova! Go! Bring it on! Go! Bring him up, man! Bring him up! Come on, let's go! Yeah!
Man, I have to just say thank you. This is, I haven't been part of the Omnibus family since '97. So I am very, very proud to just be here back at Beyond Baroque. Even though I just live right down the street. It's kind of crazy. Some people know me as DJ Naj, Mike the Poet, in his poem, I'm Alive in Los Angeles, calls me the Oakwood Soldier, got many other names, but tonight I'm going to read this piece called Forgotten Ancestors. And it's a little bit different than where we've been tonight, but hey, let's do it. Let me drop it to my ancestors, left and forgotten. Nations and nations of forgotten ancestors, Black, who connected themselves to Egypt and Ethiopia. Hope you look it up, even as most history is corrupt. Those fake historians, see, they slip up. Truth slides through. Here a light to illuminate those ancestors. I see you. You dub, woo, who, ooh, dub glass, Murrays, Russells, from the woo and who bird Nile Valley scene, and the Stella of Narma, misinterpreted as the Scorpion King. This is the forgotten ancestors of Europe, Black as Africa, connected, seen on ancient crests from Scotland. I know you saw you in Egypt, in Ethiopia, in Africa, forgotten ancestors. I see you. I see you. I see you gypsies, a mix of many Black peoples of ancient. You dub woo, who, ooh, dub glass, Murrays and Russells, you niggers and noirs, you Swartz, you woo, who bird Nile Valley scene, in the clowns, the minstrels, just on the Stella of Norma. Forgotten ancestors. Forgotten ancestors. Forgotten ancestors, I see you. I see you, ancestors, from the villas of Willendorf to the Jacobites, bringing that gypsy through slavery. As we drink the scotch, we always made it bounce. Our songs, from the highlands to the Sahara, from the Cheddar to Gambia, Stonehenges opens the door to your perceptions. I want you to see these ancestors, Black and forgotten by historians, not by me. I see you. I see you, ancestors. You are not forgotten. Just a dirty plug if you guys want to see poetry in a different fashion and different light. October 8th, one of my poems called The Last Bullet was made into a short film. We've got 19 film awards right now internationally, and we'll be showing at LA Live that Sunday. So if you get a chance to come through, support a brother. I love you guys. Good to be back here at Beyond Baroque. Thank you very much.
And next I'd like to bring up a person who has also taken her place in the constellations here in Los Angeles, another great bright light in our celestial kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, show your love for Jessica M. Wilson Cardenas.
Let's howl. Ow! Ow! Happy equinox, everybody. So good to be here. 15 years. Beautiful. I'm just so honored to be in this collection and with so many people I admire, love them. All right. So I had it ready. Here we go. Let's go. So I kind of wrote this especially for Daniel in this book. It's called Bring a Katana to a Knife Fight. When I think of a spar, I think of a word war. Back and forth until one falls to the floor. Tongue tied out over the dirty drawers laid out without remorse. When I think of a spar, I think of the tally from a classroom discussion. Well, what do they mean by that? What's more important, your instincts or capitalism? Who thinks we need money? Nothing but a whisper until one kid calls out, dying to come along for the ride, yells out, "Timber!" Who motions to the youth along for another mind melt of discovery. Yeah, and I got blocked on here. Sorry, oh, sucks. Oh, damn, of course it would. It's just, the drama, I guess. Why? Dude, I couldn't afford it, man. I'm beat, dude. I had like $20 in my pocket tonight. My car was 40 miles up the fucking 405, so it couldn't do it. I thought I was gonna break down, so I'm trying, exactly. F that paper. Dude, this is awful. Well, I guess I'm only reading that poem. This is getting into my time. There it is. All right, an extra large, because now I get the eyes are an issue. So let's I'm so all right. Here we go. Go back to the timber part. Nothing but a whisper until one kid calls out, "Timber!" to the teacher, who motions the youth along for another mind melt of discovery. Now let's go to the store and take back the eggs. The yolk runs too thin and exploits all the letters on my plate so they stand out in the moonlight. There's no alphabet sure enough to spar back the anecdote to a less miserable way to earn a living. Anecdotal variety, a vacation that lends itself to many hands, only to hold the dollar bill casually until it is ripped into strips. A cut-up of the smile that wore hope in the blue of the afternoon. A bow tie clipped right under the shag of hipped out hair. Digging for a debt of understanding. Let's spar under the sheet of casual sex, a sway of the blanket bulging over your hips. It's more flattering that way. Pull the sheet back just enough to see your skin peeling, burnt layers from the sun's seed. These rays that simmer into the tapestry of your poem, a relief from the karma shoving back into the musk. The light will fade from its intention. The ink will swell out in good sweat until your lips are unrecognizable words thrown around in one night bedstand. A faint duty to tuck away beyond the meaning of heavy lust. That nightstand, bedstand, remind me of your time, though. Thank you. I was saying that
my poetry bomb.
your poetry bomb. Thank you, everybody.
I sense uneasiness in the room. The shifting tide of time. All right, here we go. We're still rocking and rolling. We're moving along rather well. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your love for Carl Stillwell. Oh, that's karaoke? That's so weird. I always knew him as karaoke. Carl Stillwell has already been up here. Thank you. Then we will bring up, is Jonathan Harris here? He's still lost in space, okay. There he goes. And then Lee Beck.
Hi, everybody. Great to be here. It's so wonderful. Thank you, Daniel, for counting me among this stellar group of wonderful people. It was 9/11 the other day. Pinochet, you fascist creep. They're going to get you one day. And the birds will sing again. And I will rejoice with many, you horror, you animal, you monster. To think that humanity came up with a you. How sad. May your shit incinerate you soon. You foul excuse for a person. You traitor to your own people and to all humanity. It's 5:45 in the morning, and I can't see the page. It's 5:45 in the morning, we're sleeping in the living room on the big double bed. I put the big double bed in the living room because we had to have a hospital bed for her in our bedroom. But last night, she felt well enough to come in here and sleep with me. It was a sweet night. 9:10. To us, we are down to moments. She's sleeping now, nice and pleasant, always pleasant with her. She's got cancer. By mid-November, she'll be gone. She knows it. It's terrifying. I'm listening to KPFK, and I hear a report about a plane crashing into one of the Twin Towers in New York City. Oh my God, what a terrible accident, I thought. I slid out of bed, go downstairs, turn on the TV, just in time to see another plane smash into the other Twin Tower. And right then and there, we know we're into something we've never been into before. Not in our country, not in our time. I run upstairs to get her. She's awake. She gets her shots and all her right equipment, and I bring her down gingerly to sit her on the couch. And there we spend the day, watching. People running, people flying, people leaping from buildings, people running through the streets, smoke everywhere, firemen running up the stairs, text messages coming in from New York. We saw it from the Brooklyn Bridge. We saw it from the Bowery. We saw it from 45th Street. Then suddenly it just, phoot, the building went straight down. Like that time I saw the demolition of the brick smokestack in Anderson when I was a boy. Phoot! And then the other building came down. Phoot! All the people, the firemen, over 3,000 human beings, incinerated. We sit, we watch in terror. This is happening in our country. What will happen next? Bombs! That's what happens when bombs go off. When people get napalmed, strafed and droned, when buildings are blown up and innocents are in them, people who didn't have a damn thing to do with it except be in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's how we get the holy war crusades. The violence, the pervading image, the promise of oh so much more. The holy sanctum hath been violated. This was an act of war. Great retribution hath been promised. As terrorists to terrorists stand, now whose God holds the future? In whose God's holy hands? Thank you.
Hi, Patty. And now I'd like to bring up Rex Butters.
Did Sherry the Priest ever come back?
No, that's all right. I thought he was in the book and he's not.
Hey, y'all. I'd like to echo Jessica in wishing you all happy equinox. If you go back far enough in your genealogies, you'll find we're all descended from pagans. If you've lived in LA and Venice long enough, hopefully you know that gentrification is murder. This is called Who'll Be the First to try to sell the spot where he dropped. His flame-tipped, sun-kissed dreadlocks framed the positive vibration grin. No saint, thank gods. Just trying to beat the odds. Sell some incense and stay clean. Blessed, he'd respond to how's it going. Rebuilding the life he almost lost, now lived one day at a time. Suddenly, soulless suits and their pandering political puppets declared selling incense and oils a crime. He tried to jump through the city's arbitrary hoops, dance to the changing tune, subject to unjustified, unwanted, unfair regulation. Doors shutting too fast, the bottle reopened. Mounting pressure blew a small vein in his brain. Dead on the boardwalk. Denied livelihood by the city. Another gentle soul plowed under. More greed machine grease. Even the jaded bitch whore Venice, once a goddess, now merely a celebrity, looks away in shame. He'd say, "Hey Rex, saw your new one in the beachhead, all right." This time, Cecil, it's about you, but you're not here to read it. Thank you.
Rex Butters. And now I'd like to bring up Philip T. Nails.
Thanks, y'all. It's an honor to be here. I'm addicted to dancers. The best dancer I know says, keep dancing. Keep dancing, even in your underwear, early in the morning, late at night, just there in your flat lonesome, in your holy stillness. Scoop your ass toward your belly button. Breathe. And I think, breathe like you are fucking. Breathe your dream. Breathe into the muscles shaping your body, curving your bone. You are behind a wheel and you have control. You straddle a line. You believe in a system. You bump, you hear the road, but you still have your own song. That same rhythm, rearranged, deranged, sculpted to your own idea, like an oil drop floating in the ocean the size of an eyeball, that you send a gallon of chemicals to tackle and abate. Thank you.
And the next person I'd like to bring up is Jeffrey Bryant.
Thank you, Daniel, so much. This is such an honor. Thank you. I'll find my poem in just a moment. This poem contains smoking, language, nudity, and sexual situations. I'm at this movie that contains language dripping out of every lipsticked mouth, girls inhaling guys, then exhaling them into cuffs, It's got sinister sisters and violent shadows, boys eyeshadowing boys. This movie has language like heat, which some girl keeps in her purse just in case. And just in case always comes around and tells her to hand it over. Language, languid and lurid, tumbling out and into every freshly made bed of peril. Scented sheets, silk, stretching out like bodies upon bodies, like an orgy or a war. Bodies landing in fatal arms. Girls falling into girls, breathing in each other. Grown men lasting as long as they can. Until the cops, the kicks, the cars, the crash, the cocks, the fucks, the shits. Language crisp and sharp as any switchblade pressed against a vein. This movie, with all the bad girls bumming your last smoke, and the pretty boys who love to lick danger off the spoon. Then, some guy, some mug, acting all blue-eyed and good for nothing, pushes a seat down next to mine to laugh where I laugh at all the language and the smoking and the sexual situations. And he sticks his hand down into my popcorn. And we get up and we make a movie at his place. Butter still warm on our fingers. Rubbing language out of each other until we fade out. And he lights up, says nothing, nothing at all. And then we fall asleep, nude, extinguished, spent, mute. Thank you.
Jeffrey Bryant. Thank you, Jeffrey. The one thing that's true of poetry readings is people expect you to pull a rabbit out of your hat, and I say we always pull diamonds out. Thank you, my friend. So you won't see rabbits, but you'll see a lot of fucking diamonds. The next person I'd like to bring up is Juan Cardenas. He's not here tonight? He's with the Children Lost in Space with Jonathan Harris. All right, then Juan's not here tonight. Tell him I said hello. Then I would like to bring up now Matt Cedillo.
Poem's too long, so here's another one. The rich! Well, they're not like you and me. They see an opportunity, they grab it. Reach for the stars and they put them in their pocket. Company stays the red, but they're backed by the government. Snorts public dimes and lines of pure profit. Research and development, the rich, well, they're a different breed. Champagne wishes and caviar dreams, thoroughbred stallions, quarterly match on the sea, Deepwater horizon, blood diamonds, golden parachute, silicon messiahs, feasting on endangered species served on silver platters, winter palaces carved from the tips of icebergs, six-figure charters, vulture capital, $1 million coffins looking life like an apple, insured by suicide nets, lifestyles of the criminally negligent, but you haven't lived until you've launched a car into space for no fucking reason. And that's what I call freedom. The rich, well, here's how it is. Dollars and cents. Trademark and rent. Facts and figures, lines on a ledger, drivens and debt, building the future, increased productivity, union busting back to the 100-hour work between the fat, pushing monopolies with their money, shorts, and bets. That, my friend, so the rich stay rich while the rest make poor decisions. It's pure ecstasy, living in the lap of luxury, pushing pharmaceuticals to mark up. The market will bear your body to its altar and a life or death bargain. The gospel of wealth, because it is what it is, and that's all it's ever been. The less we spend, the more we keep. You see, the rich and the poor, but they're just like you and me. 2 hands, 2 feet. The sky, the sea, and one heart that beats, and the time to make the most of. I know sympathy. Reaching into these deep pockets, all we ever asked was for our fair share, and God damn it, that's all of it. So we out in the streets, scream for peace and justice. We sleep in satin sheets, dream free and guiltless over oceans and tariffs, liquidating pensions that off to bid on porcelain and portraits at billion-dollar auctions. You know you need us. You know we're selling your secrets. You know to send us DNA kits, watching the puppets on television, debate freedom, free speech. Fascism, democracy will reach in the earth and punch through the ozone and fuel the economy with space stations. Yes, space stations hydrating the red planet. We're gonna survive the slob bit. So we got pots and pans, we got deeds and plans, chopping down rainforest, colonizing the moon. We're the rich. Who the fuck are you? We'll privatize the water supply and then copyright the tears falling from your eyes. Burn it all down. What the hell you talking about? The ice caps already melting. You want to start some shit? Eat the rich. We're already killing your kids. One carbon from gas house emission. One oil rig. One free trade. I got so excited about that. One free trade agreement at a time. We'll get away with it too. Nothing we say or do is ever held against us. Have you been paying attention? We're rich. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, SL. Appreciate it. Thank you, John Brock.
Matt Cedillo. I deliberately withheld a lot of electricity for the end, as you will find out shortly. Matt, that was electric, as you always are. Thank you, my friend. Beautiful. The next person I'd like to bring up, Jim Bolt.
So good to be here back at Beyond Baroque. What a lineup, murderer's row of poets here tonight. Jeez. Thanks to Daniel, SA, the whole thing. I'd just like to see if we could slip a little sultry out of what's left of summer. Never known a woman like you. You catch every last word. Never known a woman like you. Every twist, every turn, every shift, every move. Woman like you, motivate me, supplicate to me, cream every move I got, and you never forget the word. Gets around whenever I get you, whenever I move you. Never known a woman like you. Put my name up in lights. Yeah, flattery got you everywhere. Run the cusp of my lips up your billboard, up your charts. Tear off your cellophane wrapper. Unpeel your raspberry fruit roll. Right here, right now. No questions asked, no reservations necessary, no reservations whatsoever. Never known a woman like you, like this relationship can't be true. You push every pull I got when you hurl me in your sling me into the sun. I'm your burning bridge. Never known a woman like you, like no way back. You're my carrot, I'm your stick. You slip me into deep valleys. I'd never go alone. Home keeps receding into your next scheduled performance. There is no life until your lights come up. I'm addicted to your cue. Never known a woman like you, testing me, stripping my finishes, scratching
scratching off my high gloss. You do me a favor. You provide an essential service. You perform a vital function. You believe my lies. And if that ain't loving me, then I never known a woman quite like you.
Jim's number is 222-222-2222. That's a lot of twos, and they go like that. And now the next person I'd like to bring up is very electric, and I know this very well. And I've described him as the Jackson Pollock of poetry. Show your love for Nelson Gary.
You know, it's great to be here with all these poets. This actually isn't a whoops. Yeah, actually, I could use some help.
What you need?
Just to move this up.
Move this up.
Yeah.
Uptown?
Yeah. Loved your piece, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
This is kind of a neat intermezzo here. Okay. If that's, yeah. That's good. That's high enough. Yeah.
Well, don't.
Oh, okay. They've got this.
There you go.
Okay. Thank you, Daniel Yaryan. Thank you, S.A. Griffin. Thank you, everybody who's here. I want to thank the people who are here who aren't reading, especially. And for me, Justin Ayers and my wife, Lil Jerry. And, you know, we were talking about getting prepared for Yom Kippur and the Day of Atonement and, you know, how hard it is. And it's just funny, you know, I was reading this thing over and sometimes it just finds you. And I wrote this a while ago. This is, you know, the sins of Adam, my sins, the divinity within, the divinity without, the devil within, the devil without. The words of Brian Eno, blank Frank. In Crimson, I am wheels, I am moving wheels. I'm a 1952 Studebaker coupe. Behind the wheel of his blue 1952 Studebaker Starlight coupe, Frank Lee's wounded serpentine intestines clenched as he took the turn onto Main Street. The blank's penetrating blast hurt like hell. Ha, a cliche. Death, another cliche. If he could have shat the anguish out, he would have. But that was no more than a fool's dream as the blood rushed from his grimace with a series of groans. The threat of death can make anyone a fool, a dreamer, or both. Everything for the driver was faint now as the blood saturated his blue and gold flannel with sanguine darkness. This situation could turn into his death in under an hour. And, of course, the apple red life force drenched his green dickies. Noir Christmas. His life didn't speed before his eyes as he looked for somewhere to park. He'd taken more than a few shots in the past for far better reasons, from far better people. In the passenger seat, ruddy-faced Adam Lawson's piece had gone off in his hand, firing a blank. Was it an accident, Adam? Hell yes! Something's wrong with this fucking gun. It's a blank, Frank. We were just going to scare the shit out of these guys with nothing but a big noise. At close range, nothing can kill you. Nothing? Nothing. A blank. You should know that. You should know a lot of things you don't seem to. Ah, fuck it. I've known for a long time you're hiding shit, Adam. Frank looked Lawson in the eye, one quick glance. He parked the car against an elm tree, feeling as if his guts were going to fall out onto his shoes, the gas and the brakes. Lee rested his arm against his bloody stomach, dropped his head to the wheel, then turned his face a tad toward short-haired Lawson. Frank rolled his eyes at Adam. I have the world to say to you, man, but I don't think it's worth it at this juncture. I understand. You understand nothing, Frank stated, then grunted, holding back a groan. Actually, you don't even understand that. Nothing. If you understood that, you'd understand this. Frank reached into his pants pocket, removed his Glock 19, and blew Adam the Mole's brains out. Thank you.
Nelson Gary. Now, I just wanted to make sure at this point. Now, I don't see how the hell we're going to do a round two. Thank you. Thank you. Thank God for you. Thank you all. So all right. Yeah, really. Come on, we'll be here at 3 o'clock in the morning. Then we'll just bore the hell out of each other. So I'm going to do a very short piece of my own. Thank you. God, a nightlight in eternity. There from the beginning at last, the tease of infinity grins. S.A. Griffin. So, Daniel, did you want to come back up, say anything, do anything? Daniel Yargan.
Yeah, I really don't have much to say. I mean, it's all been said tonight. There's so much great stuff here, and 15 years of it. This is like the perfect marker for the 15th, and hopefully it's as cool and it's at the 30th. Yeah. So also, it's SA's 45th anniversary in Los Angeles tonight. Right now. And also, I want to make sure, did everybody who showed up who was in the book, get to read? Everybody's read, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I just want to make sure. All right. Some people are more shy than I am, so you never know. Also, I'd like to get everybody up, everybody who's performed, everybody who's been involved in the series, up here for a photo at the end. And we have a cake out there to celebrate the 45th of SA and the 15th and the birthdays. All that. Thank you, everybody.
Can we bring up the house lights for a photograph? Thank you. And thank you all for coming. Thank you, Beyond Baroque.
I really love the last one. Both kids. We got to do it again.
We got to do it. We got to keep doing it.
Lynn, get right in front of me. Short people in front of you. You, sir, birthday boy. Get him over here in the middle. Get him over here in the middle.
We're going to make a second row, man.
Well, we got it all done by 10. That's pretty good.
Perfect. That's the perfect which in the middle. On the other side.
Hey, I'm on book.
I met you before you published it anyway.
All right, let's squeeze in, man.
It's in the book that's coming out. I gave you credit.
If you're 6 feet tall, please go to the back of my photo.
You should have had everyone stay over there.
I'm not going to go stand here. I go.
Don't break anything.
Watch out, watch out.
Podium.
Coming through, coming through. So get the shorter people in front.
Very good.
Got it? Yeah, really. Look at that great big audience.